We couldn't do a polar orbit until more modern times. We just learned how to put satellites in a polar orbit. We just learned how to do that. The Dogon tribe knew about Sirius B, and they knew about this in ancient times. They knew about this uh, uh, long before we even had the capability of creating observatories. They had a verbal handed down history for thousands of years that the Nomo came from a planet that orbited Sirius B, which is a star that ran out of fuel. They came to Earth and they began. These are Nomo are Anunnaki people. They came to Earth and they taught them the orbital periods of their trinary star system, Sirius. They taught them all the information about the planets in our solar system, the shapes, the sizes, the colors, and the orbital periods. I'm sorry. And so they had all this advanced wisdom they claimed they got from the Nomo. And they still have that same exact history till this current day. These Nomo taught them about Adinkra codes. Adinkra codes. And they would then take these Adinkra codes and they would create different patterns on clothing, material, and even in construction. And these Adinkra codes are actually codes that are the mathematical codes that make up space-time, the ether of space-time itself. And that was recently discovered that the codes that the Dogon have been writing down on different types of clothing and materials and blankets and so forth, and in caves and etching into stone, those are the codes that create the ether of space-time itself. Now, those are the program codes of the matrix. They know the program codes of the actual matrix. And this was proven by Professor James Gates Jr., who discovered that these Adinkra codes are mathematical codes that are called error-correcting codes, and that these error-correcting codes, after analyzing them, are the same exact codes that predict the operation of how the flow of the universe actually functions. In other words, the underlying basis of the functioning of our reality are Adinkra codes that the Dogon tribe holds sacred and knew all about for thousands of years. And they knew about a star that we couldn't see till modern times for thousands of years. And they've passed it down, this verbal handed down history for many, many generations. So the fact that this information can be passed down, this knowledge and wisdom can be passed down over many generations is not a secret. It's not a mystery. We know that for a fact that these kinds of things actually happen. And so this all-seeing eye and the information that it was able to use to calculate, to create things like the Great Pyramid and many other ancient structures all around the planet, to me, it's our time to learn about it. It's our time to wake up to the reality that there was a more sophisticated, advanced civilization here on this planet long before we ever existed, long before Homo sapien existed. And now we're just beginning to realize or rediscover what was already here.
By Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson.